Alright, my name is Opticus Redicus, and I'll be giving a short tutorial on just using this setup that I'll be providing for you with the Xbox Kinect and the Delicode NIMate tool. It's a little program that runs and takes in the skeleton from the Kinect and transfers it over to your armature over here in Blender. Both Blender is free to download and use. The Kinect is $50 if you have one, and the NIMate software is free to use in a trial version, which works just fine for what we want to do. And with those three things, you can right out really easily start animating this Master Chief character, maybe making your own red versus blue, whatever you want to do. Alright, so we're going to first start by going over to NIMate.com, and then I would go to official plugins, to Blender. That's what I'm using, and you can get Blender right here, 3A's with, I guess they made it with. I'm using a Blender 2.64. I would download all of these right here: the add-on, the animate profile, the mocap, and the bunny. Download Blender add-on. Whoops. Right click on that. Save linked file as. Make sure you maintain the .py Python extension. Save it and replace it. I already have it. And we'll minimize this. You would then come over here and you would hit Command comma, or you can go over to File and go to User Preferences. What do you want to do? You will go Install Add-on. You will go to your downloads. Click that little folder right there. That makes all the folders go away. And then click this little calendar right there, and that puts you in order of the time you downloaded it, date, and then just click your animate right there. Install add-on. Then make sure you're on all right there, and these are all selected. You don't have to do testing. And search for NIMate, and there you go. This would be unchecked for you. You would check that, and then say save as default. And that's it. I'd go ahead and save your file. It's always good to save a lot. I'm using Shift Command S for that, or Command S to save over it. So now you have your NIMate plugin installed for Blender. So then if you're using a Mac, you would just simply drag the NIMate into your applications and you'll start it up. If you haven't registered it, make sure that your Xbox is plugged in and has the power adapter and is plugged into your computer, and this will say get new license right here. You would click on this, it'll take you to the website, and it will, let's see if it does it for me. Okay. Try to say it's not working right now. Whatevs. It'll take you to the website, and if your Kinect is plugged in, it will automatically enter your serial number and prompt you for your email address. And then once you send your email address and with your ID number for your Kinect in, they will email you promptly a serial number and user profile for your NIMate Delicode NIMate application. You start that up. You can say evaluate in trial mode once you activate the license. It'll load up. You go to live view. My mic. Alright, it's calibrating. Go over to Tools, Start, and there we go. can see, we are having some floating dome problems up over here. Let's see. Press escape. And what that is, it does not liking this copy location. A second ago, and then I'm going to go back over here to start. Let's see if I can't give you a better view. Alright, and then it's tracking me sitting down, and it's kind of weird. Okay, so as you can see, not too bad for the tracking. The reason that we are getting ourselves a little glitchiness is because you need proper distance. I'd say about 10 feet in between the kinnect and yourself. As you saw in the video, the feet were going a little bit crazy and I was having trouble tracking because I'm in a very small space, and that is not conducive to tracking for the kinnect. Also, if you want any additional information, on the webpage right here for NIMate, there is how to install the add-on, video tutorials, going through pretty much the same thing I'm doing right here. This is just for my little armature right here. So once you have that, you should be able to control this guy and do whatever you want. Note that this is not textured at all, so if you rendered a picture of this, now you'd see nothing because there's no light. I go to Shift A, add point, set my energy to 5, and here, see my camera's looking at picture, and I can see no skull. Let's see. That works better now. There we go. So it is, as you can see, textureless. But good news about this guy right here is included in this blend file is also this. Let me just take this off because I'm kind of not liking it anymore. This is a armature with IK constraints. I'm going to just reset the rotation, reset the location. There you go, right here. This guy is not too bad. Rigged up nice. You can see this armature, or this mesh is pretty light actually, and it low poly as I could possibly make it while still maintaining some style. And it looks good in renders. Right there, not too bad. So this this model right here will render really fast, and pretty much anybody can start using this and animating their own red versus blue or Halo based action series, whatever you want to do with this, but this is here for the community to use however they want. See, the rig is set up pretty good. So real quick, if you don't know anything about the rig, the basics, you press A in pose mode. You have this rig selected, it's blue and it's in pose mode, and I'm pressing Alt R, and that resets the rotation, Alt G, and that resets the location. Now say that I wanted to make a quick animation. I would you can insert keyframes of I, or you can just do the record. So I'm just gonna grab everything and move it, and as you see there's a keyframe right there. Real quick, I'm going to pull this up right here and turn this into a graph editor. I'm just going to pull that to the side right now. But now I have my graph editor open, and it'll show my keyframes on everything. So it's important in animation to generally make things base equally. So I went from frame 0 to frame 20 by pressing Shift up arrow twice. Right there you can see. And now I'm going to take this guy and go up here. I'm going to rotate this, and from this view, like that, and then from this view I'm going to rotate. I'm just pressing R from the view, and you see I'm looking at the bottom of it. It allows me to rotate it, and we'll just see how that works right there. So that's all I did. I just started at frame 0, pressed shift up twice, and if you saw in frame 0, I took everything, I grabbed it, and I just moved it a little bit, and then set it back down. And then I shift up to frame 20, I just grabbed this and moved it up to right there, and that's it. And if I wanted, I'll take this guy right here, and I'll just grab Z, same thing, I'm going to rotate it, R, rotate, and rotate this up. So, play back, not bad. You see the IK inverse kinetic armature kind of moves everything with it and makes it really really human. Now, you can do the same thing with the feet. This is the bone you click on for the feet, so I would go like that, go like this, maybe give it a little rotate, maybe get a little kind of a walk cycle thing going. This isn't how you would traditionally do it, but go forward 20 more frames and rotate that, this back, there, there. There you go. That's the basics of animating this right here. Now you're probably wondering how we're going to capture the motion from this guy right here, and that is really easy. So, once again, applications, animate, evaluate and trial mode, wait, alright, live view, minimize, going to move the mic away for a second, and I'm going to click on T for tools, and then go over to Delicode right there, make sure it's on port 7000, and hit start. See, make sure I'm on the right layer, okay. Alright, I'm going to make the toolbar go away. Now, here comes the magic. I'm going to put 2000 frames right here. I said 2000. And we're going to use this record button to make the magic happen. So with that record on, let's see. Okay. So now that it's basically got me, I'm going to hit make sure the record button is on right there. Now I'm simply going to press, it's got me, okay, Alt and A, and after I do that, till it gets to the end, you make sure to press Alt A before you get to 2000 or whatever the end of your frames are. It's going to record every keyframe that I make, every motion that I make right now. So let me just get ready. Okay, I am going now. Okay, now I stopped at frame 600 because that's plenty to make a good example. And I have press escaped, which stopped. Oh, sorry. I should have pressed escape, which should have stopped that. So now it's not listening anymore, and I am turning off animate. All right, so now you click on this armature, you should see a whole bunch of keyframes. Let's see, there we go. Alright. So, sorry, you don't click on the armature, you click on these little empties, which are the trackers for the motion capture from the Kinect right there. So you see this right here, this is your graph editor. And this is where the magic happens. Now, human motion is very fluent. If you look in here, it just moves along. When it's going right, moves along in a fluent nature. And basically what you do here is you go through your animation. See, it's not letting me zoom. Let me get to a different view right here. So I just switched to user ortho. You go through your animation and you make sure the record button's off. Go through your animation and you make sure that all your movements are nice and fluid. Now, what will help make your job easy is to kind of do this one at a time. If you take everything on the scene together, it's crazy, and you have all this stuff right here. But now if we take this one at a time and say the hands and everything tracks pretty good too. Sometimes the knees go off a little bit, but I'm not back nearly as far as I should be. But if you have any problems, and this one's tracking pretty good, you would go through and just find the foot and, you know, just look for right here we got it's kind of a steep transition. I would just smooth everything out. So, and you can't really see because this is just 1, 2, 3, 4 frames, but you go through and smooth things out, and you look for kind of jumps right here. You know, what's this right here? This is our Z location on our foot, up and down. So it goes up and then down. So actually that's okay. But this is actually a bad example of problems because it's recorded pretty well. But that's it. All you do is just start your port right here. Just start that. Make sure you have animate on, and then make sure you have that little button selected, and then hit Alt A and let it go through. And you'll see right here there's nothing recorded. There's no keyframes, and that'll record all that stuff. I recommend when you're trying to capture a motion that you try to do that motion one kind of slow and see how it reacts, and also do it a few times. You know, don't just try to capture everything all at once. You know, you can go through this. If I did the same motion a couple times, you kind of get it where it's nice and good. You know, something you'll notice is the hands kind of go a little crazy. These would have to be, you'd have to go back through here and really go through the hands and mess around with this to get your hands kind of doing what you want them to do. So that's why we also have our guy on the second layer right here, which is fully controlled by you. So you can always bring him in, you know, composite him together with this guy and get your fine movements. This guy, of course, is fully controllable. His fingers, everything work just right. So that's it. The basic tutorial on running the Master Chief rig with the Kinect and Delicode and iMate in Blender 2.64. Next we'll be doing a tutorial on texturing and UV mapping the Master Chief, and we'll go through some basic camera techniques and scene lighting as well. Alright, and until next time, happy blending. Any questions or comments, just feel free to leave them below and I'll address them in a timely manner. Alright guys, bye.